Hello everybody, Emma Power here. Welcome back to another deck profile. This time we're going to be taking a look at Wailord. So, Wailord hasn't had a lot of attention in previous sets, but one thing it did gain from Vivid Voltage was actually another way to accelerate energy. So, basically, for those of you who aren't familiar with Wailord, after all he did come in a special set, he has two attacks. Draw Up and Ocean Waves. Now, Draw Up is very nice, it'll help us accelerate energy, especially in the later game, but what we are most interested in is Ocean Waves, which does 120 damage, you flip 3 coins and you do 120 damage for each heads. So, with this, it sounds just pretty trash, right? Surely, so if you're just relying on coin flips to potentially do only 120 damage, it sounds really bad. But then we look at Glimwood Tangle, which says, once you're in your turn, we can just ignore those coin flips and reflip them. So that's why I thought to myself, right, Wailord has potential, because if we go second and we can potentially discard up to 3 water energies, not that too easy actually in this particular list, but okay, possible, then we can use Draw Up and then turn 2 immediately start smacking with Ocean Waves and then do some coin flips. The only problem with that is it doesn't happen as often, and I wanted to try out a more consistent way of charging up Wailords, basically. And so this is a list that I eventually came to. It's been on a very long journey of tweaking, but I think I'm finally happy with the list. This one is consistently winning me games, and I'm tempted to enter it in one of the online tournaments that I think it's Hexter TCG is running. So this could be a potential play, even though you obviously will lose to Pikarom. Like, make no mistake of this. This cannot beat Pikarom. The only way you beat Pikarom is how, like, if they break and you get to donk them, basically. That's how you beat Pikarom. But what we do have is Trumbeak. So Trumbeak is the latest card from Vivid Voltage that will help us charge up Wailords with its Charging Trumpet to charge Wailord off into battle. Basically, when you play Trumbeak to evolve Pitback, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and any water energy you find there, you can attach them to Wailords in any way you like, and then shuffle them back into your deck. So this is like just really good with Scoop Up Net, because it means as long as you have a 2/2 line in play, you can Scoop Up Net one Trumbeak, bench another Pitback, and then evolve the other. So you can sort of just repeat the combo, essentially, as long as you have 2 Pitbacks. We play 3 just in case we prize one, because I notice with a 2/2 line, you sometimes end up prizing pieces and things get awkward, especially if you have to discard them. So that's why I made room for 3/3. And we can even guarantee 1 water energy with Iron Guru's Primate Wisdom. So that's kind of like how we're going with things. So if we get Trumbeak off turn 2, and even if we only get 1 water energy, that still means we only have to find 3. So let's say we've binned 1, we attach 1, we use Draw Up to retrieve the binned 1, then we use Trumbeak to put 1 on. You see how it's actually kind of easy to get Wailord going. There's no energy recycle in this deck, so no turbo patches, so we are relying on Trumbeak, I guess, solely. But we do have ways of finding the evolution lines relatively quickly, because we have cards like Kapu that says look at the top 6 cards of your deck, put 2 of them in your hand, and discard the other cards, which is just really nice. We have 3 Marnie for disruption, especially against Wilder decks and Zacian. We don't want them to have a big hand, so definitely helps a bit. 4 research, want to be as aggressive as possible in the early game, just thinning down those water energy. And then of course we have the 4 Scoop Up Nets to retrieve basic Pokemons. We have 2 switches to shift our Pokemon, no Air Balloon, and no Mallow and Lana, which is something you could potentially make room for, but is not something I'm considering right now. And 4 Cape of Toughness. You could play Buff Padding if you don't have Cape of Toughness, but I'm quite happy with Cape of Toughness right now. Just plus 50 HP is really nice. It essentially means we can have our Wailord up to 330 HP, which is just crazy for a 2 prizer. And if you want to put that in perspective, you're essentially a Pokemon with a HP of a VMAX, can 1-hit KO any other VMAX, theoretically, and you only go up 2 prizes. So assuming you have good matchups, then Wailord V can really destroy the opponents pretty quickly. And then of course, the rest of the list is more or less just what I've explained, setting up the strategy, boss's orders, pretty mandatory. Pokegear to try and find some other Pokemon. You could make room for Vivid Voltage Jirachi, but that would mean adding in not just Scoop and Nets, you'd probably need some U-turn boards, I would say, and then maybe Maladon as well, just to be safe. But I think this is like probably one of the best decks you can play Wailord in, and certainly one of the best you can play Trumbeak in. If you want to know my honest opinion, I do still think Frostmoth is better because Frostmoth is like just a little bit more consistent. But Trumbeak is not necessarily worse than Frostmoth, because in Frostmoth you need Wailord out of the active. Like, you can't just open with Wailord, you need him out of the active. Then you need to switch into him. I know a lot of people have done like really good consistent lists with Whale Frostmoth, but I think Bird Whales actually has potential, just because you can always just attach the actives really nice. So this is Trumbeak Wailord. Hope you guys enjoy playing Wailord if you do end up building this. It's won me a lot of games, so I hope it can continue to do so, and I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.